Doring starts to strut and music begins to play. But unfortunately, it's Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten. Then Axel Rotten gets on the mic, says that he was watching in the back, and it looks like a homosexual dance party. Then Axel inserts himself and Balls Mahoney into the match that's already in progress. He even calls the stipulation, says it's an elimination match. Three-way dance. You see, Tommy Dreamer is the jackass because he picked Jake Roberts over Terry Funk in some bullshit tag match. So for that, Funk vows for revenge, and he's going to find out how much blood Dreamer has in his body. It's like, oh, I hate Jake Roberts.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know him, but I can look at him and no, he's a son of a bitch.
And the crowd was super into this match until Super Crazy shouted Viva Mexico. And they started booing.
Yeah, they didn't seem to like that for some reason.
Sid comes out saying, God damn it, who's the man? Sid was supposed to be the bad guy, but he got the loudest cheers of the night.
Boy, did he.
They got their asses beat after the match, especially New Jack.
Very uncomfortable this was.
Well, first of all, New Jack wouldn't stay down.
Yeah, he kept moving. Like, stay still and we'll stop him.
Bass whipped Tommy Dreamer with an S&M whip. Said, you deserve it.
I'm not going to lie.
Don't.
I mean, obviously there'd have to be bags involved and a gag, so there's no sound.
I'm about to orgasm. Moving on, we have our Wrestling Rewind. And this week is ECW Guilty as Charged, 1999. We're in Kissimmee, Florida. Paul Heyman opens, thanks us for our money. And unlike the other guys, ECW isn't going to bullshit us. So tonight's card's going to change. Masato Tanaka will not be wrestling Rob Van Dam for the World Television title tonight. I was really looking forward to that match too. Bummer. Jerry Lynn has a fractured pelvis and is in no shape to wrestle Lance Storm and Spike Dudley. So that's going to be changing too. So they're going to flip some things around and bring us the best show possible. Heyman says he has the best locker room in the world, so it shouldn't be an issue. And they're going to give us the most bang for our buck and break every effing rule in the business. And for that, Heyman promises us that they're guilty as charged.
Which won't be the last time we hear that.
Then Joey Styles is in the ring. He's there to let us know that in this business, nobody's innocent. So tonight, without a doubt, ECW is guilty as charged. And then out come the full-blooded Italians. Little Guido, Tracy Smothers, Tommy Rich, the German guy, and a fat guy. They're facing Angry Amish Roadkill and Danny Doring, who didn't get entrance. I didn't know who to root for. One team is full of fake Italians. The other team had a guy with muffin ass written on his tights for some reason. And then Doring starts to strut and music begins to play. And thankfully, it's not an impromptu dance number, because that's what I thought it was. Like, oh my God, why are they just dancing? But unfortunately, it's Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten. I guess their internal organs from the last pay-per-view are healed. Then Axel Rotten gets on the mic, says that he was watching everything in the back, and it looks like a homosexual dance party. Then Axel inserts himself and Balls Mahoney into the match that's already in progress. He even calls the stipulation, says it's an elimination match. Three-way dance. Okay. When the match resumes, both teams just don't beat the piss out of Rotten and Mahoney, which I would have done. But chaos does ensue. For the most part, everyone fights on the floor while two guys have a match in the ring. Balls Mahoney did a dive to the floor from the top rope. Balls Mahoney isn't a top rope guy. I'll just say that. He's not really a wrestling move guy from what I've seen.
No, he's just a chair swinging freak.
Yeah. Doring and his team got eliminated after getting pinned by a double perfect plex from Guido and Smothers. Then Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney won after doing a couple somethings. I don't know what those moves were. Doesn't matter. Then the fat guy and the German guy get in the ring so Axel and Mahoney can hit them with chairs. And I don't think I get given one solitary shit about the outcome of any match the full-blooded Italians have been in.
That's fair.
Well, then they cut to the back because Terry Funk's about to say something crazy. And he talks about he talks about a jackass his daddy loved with all his heart. One day the jackass kicked Daddy Funk in the nuts, so he had Terry go into the house and get him a knife. Terry comes out with a kitchen knife, and his daddy slits the jackass's throat. His daddy turns to Funk, says payback's a bitch. And it turns out that Terry Funk has used that story to describe his current situation with Tommy Dreamer. You see, Tommy Dreamer is the jackass because he picked Jake Roberts over Terry Funk in some bullshit tag match. So for that, Funk vows for revenge, and he's going to find out how much blood Dreamer has in his body. He says the payback is from right now till the day Tommy Dreamer dies.
Yeah.
And then he loses it on the camera guy. Get the fuck out. Get out.
Yeah. And I like how this whole thing started over him picking Jake Roberts for the mystery partner.
He's like, oh, I hate Jake Roberts.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even know him, but I can look at him and know he's a son of a bitch. It's like, you mean to tell me you haven't had a run-in with Jake Roberts? Come on now.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, then we had Super Crazy versus Yoshihiro Tajiri. The Tajiri. And boy, did Tajiri look as white meat babyface as you could be.
Yeah, this is before he became a mainstay.
Yeah. But man, he was a badass. With them kicks and shit. Both of them kept the pace like really high. Tajiri hit a Acai moonsault to the floor. Super Crazy hit one from the guardrail. And then the crowd was super into this match until Super Crazy shouted Viva Mexico. They started booing.
Yeah, they didn't seem to like that for some reason.
Yeah. There's a cool surfboard spot where Super Crazy just rolled Tajiri through the submission. Super Crazy did a reverse tornado DDT and then missed some corkscrew thing off the top rope. Then Tajiri hit a couple sit-down power bombs and a Frankensteiner from the top rope. Tajiri ended up winning with a dragon suplex. And I thought this match was fantastic. It was really cool seeing the Mexican-Japanese dynamic too.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Tajiri and his kicks were like on point. Even Super Crazy with his stuff. It was Lucha Libre, but it wasn't like the traditional Lucha Libre where
it wasn't wacky.
Yeah, where you can tell they're just like moving to their next spot.
Right.
Basically no selling, so they can just get to their next spot.
And I think for me, this might have been the match of the night. There's other candidates, but they kept ruining them.
Yeah, it's a strong contender.
Well, then John Cronus comes out. And then some guy dressed as a judge comes out. Turns out it's the evil ECW ref that keeps popping up. Then the judge rules that Bill Clinton and O.J. Simpson are guilty as charged. Then brings up John Cronus kicking his ass at some point. So Cronus is, of course, guilty as charged, too. The judge says Cronus now has to face his executioner, who's a little bit psycho and willing to deal out his own brand of justice in a vicious manner. Cronus, who clearly inspired Eugene, says no one's crazy enough to come out and face him. Then the judge points to the entrance ramp, and we have John Cronus versus Psycho Sid. And Sid comes out saying, God damn it, who's the man? He also didn't even bother to put on tights for this match. Cronus, who's significantly smaller, starts fighting Sid. Sid chokeslams Cronus through a table on the floor from the ring. Sid unnecessarily grabs a chair and starts whacking Cronus in the head. And then he throws Cronus back in the ring, gets that powerbomb chant going, and wins with a monster powerbomb. Sid was supposed to be the bad guy, but he got the loudest cheers of the night.
Boy, did he. That place is going crazy for him.
I think Cronus is one of the ECW champions, and look at how he stands next to Sid.
Yeah, definitely fish out of water type.
And I'd venture to say if Sid wrestled anybody, he'd tower over him. Maybe Big Dick Dudley.
I think Roadkill's pretty tall. And I don't know where Mike Awesome is, but they probably look pretty close too.
I don't know. It was like watching a child fight a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Well, Taz and Shane Douglas are facing each other in the main event for the ECW title. We're going to get comments from each competitor. But first, we get a hype video. Douglas and Taz are feuding. Taz has Douglas in the Katahajime, but Sabu double crosses Taz. Taz then breaks Sabu's neck, then lets Sabu pin him for the FTW title, the Fuck the World Championship, the unrecognized belt. So Taz is now the number one contender for Douglas's belt. And then I guess we forget about the comments from Taz and Shane Douglas because now we're moving on to the Dudley Boys, who are in the ring. I guess they're not supposed to be here or something, but Bubba comes out and sounds like he issued an open challenge. Said to send anyone, it doesn't matter, because when you get jacked up 7 feet in the air and Bubba catches you, you'll be seeing 3D. And Gertner spit some poetry. His crotch is the happiest place on earth. He made Minnie Mouse's pussy wet and filled Daisy Duck's full of cream. And
vanilla cream.
He made her squeal and scream and filled her full of cream. Joel, I shoot out a full condom filla and it tastes like vanilla. Gertner. And I believe he got a standing ovation. Because we're immature.
My favorite part of those is how Devon reacts.
Yeah.
Because like after he does it, he's like dancing around.
So then Bubba gets on the mic and lays down the gauntlet. Dudleys weren't even supposed to be in this godforsaken town on this measly little pay-per-view. But Bubba knows that there's no team in the back willing to stand up to the Dudleys. They've taken over the show, and the pay-per-view is now in jeopardy. The Dudleys refuse to leave the ring until somebody answers. And they're prepared to wait it out all night. So that means there's no more matches that can continue. Yeah. Looks like guilty as charged is over. But then rap music begins to play. Out comes New Jack and Spike Dudley, who's dressed like New Jack for some reason. And it starts off with the Dudleys getting their asses thoroughly kicked. Then the momentum shifts. Bubba Ray threw Spike Dudley into the crowd twice. The momentum shifts again. New Jack strangled Devon with TV cable. There's a standoff. New Jack and Spike have guitars. The Dudleys have chairs. As they charge, the Dudleys duck and then leave the ring. Big Dick Dudley gets involved, but he's taken out with both guitars. And then the Dudleys use the distraction to attack Spike and New Jack. New Jack and the Dudleys start fighting on the ramp, and New Jack gets hit with the 3D. So it's basically Spike versus the Dudleys now. And Spike goes to the only offense he has left, which is nut shots. But it doesn't matter because he gets 3D'd too. He got pinned. They got their asses beat after the match, especially New Jack.
Very uncomfortable this was.
Well, first of all, New Jack wouldn't fucking stay down.
Yeah, he kept moving, and they kept beating him. Like, stay still, and we'll stop if you stop.
Well, they jumped him, and I think they hit him with a chair or something, and then New Jack like immediately gets to his knees. I was like, well, what other choice do I have now?
Yeah, I have to keep selling it at this point.
And every time, like, he grab out to Bubba Ray's leg or something, get the fuck off me, and he, stomp him.
And this is mid-promo, too.
Yeah.
Bubba Ray is trying to cut his promo, and New Jack, who's getting his ass beat, is still grabbing at him. He's like, get the fuck off me.
But yeah, as you said, it was uncomfortable, and it's because it was so long. And New Jack wouldn't fucking stay down. If Devon wasn't there, for sure it would have been a hate crime. But then Bubba says they've beaten all the other teams. Sabu and RVD's days as champion are numbered. Then they challenge Public Enemy for some reason. Like, okay.
Well, they said they've beaten every team in ECW except for one. And this will prove that they're the greatest team in ECW if they've beaten all the other teams.
When have we seen the Public Enemy last?
I don't know. It's just their way to get to the next pay-per-view, I guess.
Oh, my God. Well, I hope that's on one of them super shows.
I think it's on the next pay-per-view.
Great.
Because he said the specific day, and then I think he said, what's the next one? I'm not saying that's not the next one.
Living Dangerously.
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't what he said either. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't remember that being the name, though.
Well, they reiterate that Masato Tanaka will not be facing Rob Van Dam tonight. They're going to find a suitable challenger, though. But first, we get a RVD highlight video. That's all it was. Then Lance Storm comes out with Tammy Lynn Bitch / Dawn Marie. Styles used both. And then Storm says Spike Dudley already had his match and Jerry Lynn is hurt because of me. So my triple threat match isn't going to happen. So therefore, Storm challenges RVD for the World Television title. Lance says he's not the whole effing show, just the best damn part of it.
Yeah.
And that leads us to Lance Storm versus Rob Van Dam for the ECW World Television title. Started off well enough, the fast-paced, technical. Alfonso went after Dawn Marie like a rabid animal. They fought in the crowd for a long-ass time. Then Rob Van Dam talks shit while slowly crawling his way back to the ring. Like, oh, don't count me out yet. It's not even half done. Got him right where I want him. Then Van Dam tried the Van Daminator, but Lance stepped aside, but still held the chair up right in front of the referee's face, so he's out. Then Lance does his version of the Van Daminator and goes for the pin, knowing goddamn well he just took the ref out. And then Van Dam drop kicked a chair right into Storm's face from the top rope, and I thought that was the end of the match. Van Dam missed the 5-star frog splash. They then do a series of counters until RVD hit a German suplex for the win. Has he ever won with the 5-star frog splash?
Not yet. And I only know that because I've been waiting for that to be his actual finisher.
Okay.
Yeah. He's hit it and they've been kicked out of. So essentially it's been a signature move. But yeah, he has not yet won with it.
That's interesting. I expected a good match, and this did not disappoint one bit. And I'm glad the managers did not steal the spotlight because they could have.
And I don't think, what's his name? Alfonso, I don't think he had the whistle too much. I don't know if it was him that did it or if it was someone in the crowd. Because there's definitely someone in the crowd with the whistle, as there was last pay-per-view as well.
I think there's been like a crowd whistle in just about all of them. Or maybe I just hear it. Maybe that's just the natural ambiance of ECW.
Yeah, it's just ECW now, that damn whistle.
We get a Just Incredible Tommy Dreamer hype video. It just shows Credible beat the shit out of Dreamer various times with a Singapore cane. Dreamer got in a few licks, but nothing major. Terry Funk is involved. So Terry Funk is Tommy Dreamer's adopted father figure or whatever the fuck. But he hates Tommy Dreamer now. So then Tommy Dreamer's feuding with Just Incredible. So naturally, Terry Funk adopted him as his son figure. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But he did say he's going to beat up Tommy Dreamer every chance he gets now. So
there you go. Well, that leads us to Just Incredible versus Tommy Dreamer. Stairway to Hell match. Incredible comes out with his entourage. Just Jason. She-Mel bodybuilder Nicole Bass. Raven's sister Chastity got race swapped with some chick named Jasmine. We will later call her Jazz. Dreamer comes out with a ladder. So I guess this is a ladder match, only instead of a title belt hanging over the ring, it's weapons. At least Styles said it was weapons. It actually turned out to just be one singular Singapore cane.
Yeah. And I guess the stipulation here is whoever climbs the ladder gets to use the cane. Well, actually, it was supposed to be weapons, but then it was just, the cane.
Just the one single cane. And I was wondering, like, is there somebody in the rafters just going to change out the weapon? I don't know how that was going to work.
Or they pull a string and then, like, weapons fall down. Like a balloon party.
So this one was pretty hard hitting from the get-go. They fight on the floor on the entrance ramp. Nicole Bass whipped Tommy Dreamer with an S&M whip. Said, "You deserve it."
I'm not going to lie.
Don't.
I mean, obviously there have to be bags involved.
Jesus Christ. Yes, Tyson, lick my clit. Lick it.
Yeah. There have to be a bag involved and a gag. So there's no sound.
I'm about to orgasm. My pussy's so... God damn it. You're sick. Dreamer is the first one to use a ladder. He sets up a bridge between the ring and the guardrail and drops Credible face first on it. Dreamer later does a world's strongest slam to Credible on the ladder in the ring. Then Credible sandwiches Dreamer's arm in the ladder and cracks it with a chair. That fucks his arm up. Just Jason was involved often, and Dreamer went to DDT him Incredible at the same time. Jazz got up from behind and nutshotted Dreamer and then hit him with a suplex. Jazz just starts celebrating, and Dreamer completely no-sells the suplex. She saw him immediately stand up, but continued to celebrate anyway. And then Dreamer snatches Jazz, tries to DDT her, but she's saved by Jason. Incredible leans the ladder up against the ropes, puts Dreamer on it, and just dumps him out of the ring and through a table that was on the floor. Later, Incredible puts the ladder around Dreamer's neck and rams it in the ring post, which out of all the things that he did, that one seemed like the worst. I don't know why.
Just like the impact of it.
I think that's what it was, yeah. Incredible then stands the ladder up in the ring. Looks like he's going to go for the weapon. Again, that's one singular Singapore cane. Dreamer then stands the ladder right next to Credibles, and they both start climbing up and start fighting because you got to have the spot where they're both on top of the ladder.
Got to have that added drama.
Dreamer then hits Credible with a diamond cutter off the ladders, which was a cool spot. And Styles said, page stolen from somebody else's book.
Yeah.
Dreamer then climbs the ladder and grabs the Singapore cane and then does a leaping DDT to Credible off the ladder. A Dreamer ties or tries to tie Credible up on the ropes. He's about to deliver payback to his nemesis. Then Terry Funk arrives and clobbers Dreamer with a trash can. And then Credible whacks Dreamer right in the face with the cane, then hits a tombstone on the ladder and wins the match. Then Terry Funk just mollywops Dreamer with the trash can after the match.
Yeah, and I like how Joey Styles is like, Dreamer, you got to fight back. Defend yourself. Don't just put your hands up. Like, maybe in another time, but right now, all he can do is have his hands up and defend himself.
And he's like, oh, Tommy. Just had a hardcore match. He got jumped with the trash can, then got beat with the trash can. What the fuck are you talking about, oh, Tommy?
Yeah, you got someone standing over you, beating you repeatedly with a trash can, and you're like, stand up and defend. No, that's the worst thing you can do.
Well, then we finally hear comments from Taz and Shane Douglas. Taz says it's just another match. Douglas is just another victim, and Taz predicts he's going to win the match. Douglas tells Psycho Sid to go back to where he came from and says he's not going to lose to Taz. It was really interesting because it kind of closed in on his face and you see the fear in his eyes.
Yeah. I did like that little touch where he was telling Psycho Sid, go ahead and go to another promotion. It'll be much easier to win a title somewhere else, not here, because I'm the champion.
Which I do believe Psycho Sid would thoroughly. I don't know how long his run in ECW is, but yeah, I don't see him losing too often.
Yeah.
I see him
Millennium Man.
I see him picking Taz up by his head and just moving him like a chess piece.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to book because you want to talk about looking legit. He definitely looks the most legit there.
Well, then we have Taz versus Shane Douglas for the ECW World Heavyweight title. They've been building to this match for the past few pay-per-views, and we're finally here. It's actually been a pretty decent build. Shane's coming in with a busted arm. Is there ever a point when he's not wrestling with a fucked up arm?
I don't know, but yeah, that arm's been busted up for a while.
So this one started off pretty methodical, and they both proved to be pretty even despite Douglas's injury. Lots of wrestling holds. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Then they started fighting on the fucking floor, and then they fight through the fucking crowd. And that was pretty much the match. They fight all the way to the back of the stands. Then they make their way back to the ring. When they finally get back to the ring, Douglas props up a table in the corner and launches Taz through it. Douglas sets up another table in the corner. This time he gets Tazplex through it. And then the lights go out. Sabu makes his entrance with a broken neck. And he proceeds to kick the shit out of both Taz and Shane Douglas. And he puts each of them through a table and then just leaves. Then Francine's in the ring for some reason while Shane Douglas signals for help or something. Then Sunny comes out so she can start randomly fighting with Francine. Then Chris Candido follows Sunny and turns on Douglas after they settle their women down. Douglas is just as confused as I am, but then Taz locks in the Katahajime. Douglas refuses to tap and passes out instead. This one started off like it was going to be an all-time classic, but the crowd shit killed it. Then the multiple run-ins fucked the match's dead body.
Yeah, they lost me definitely at the run-in part. It was like, oh, here we go. Sabu coming out, full music and everything.
Lights go out with the sparklers. Totally unplanned. We weren't expecting this.
And as if it wasn't bad enough, his music kept playing for a little bit while he was beating their asses.
He got the New Jack treatment.
Yeah.
They love doing that.
Yeah, this time I just think they didn't turn it off. Like, I don't know, didn't hit the button. I don't know if that part was playing, but maybe it was.
I was surprisingly rooting for Shane here.
Interesting. Especially as you started out not liking him as champion.
I just kind of felt bad. His buddies turned on him. His woman's starting to doubt him. He's starting to doubt himself. His arm's fucked up. His jack off arm. Then he loses his title.
Yeah. But at least, I guess, for him, he didn't lose clean.
Right.
Protected, I think is what they
Yes. So I think this was probably one of the better the best pay-per-view so far.
Yeah, they definitely start to figure it out.
Which, unfortunately, I think we're not far off from when WWE takes over.
Just as they're starting to figure it out, they're about to lose it.
Yeah, the video quality is getting better. They're starting to put like better storylines throughout the pay-per-view.
They're starting to have actual matches.
Tommy Dreamer's starting to grow on me too. I was never a big fan of his. I always thought he was boring, especially when he cuts a promo, but I kind of like the everyman ass kicker.
Speaking of which, where's the Sandman?
WCW?
Oh, yeah. He had to go get that little stint of being hack.
Well, that was guilty as charged. Our next pay-per-view is ECW Living Dangerously, 1999. We're in Ashbury Park, New Jersey. Our main event is Taz versus Sabu. It's an extreme death match to unify the ECW and FTW World Heavyweight titles. So I guess the FTW title is recognized now.
It's good that the ECW World Champion is worried about the championship that's not even recognized.
But before that, we have WCW Sold Out 2000. This is our first WCW pay-per-view of the new millennium. And it's our fourth and final sold out pay-per-view. Took place from the First Star Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. The event would later be replaced by Sin as the January pay-per-view. The main event is Chris Benoit versus Psycho Sid. The special guest referee is Arn Anderson. Other matches are Billy Kidman versus Dean Malenko. It's a catch as catch can match.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know.
I know what they mean by catch as catch can, but I don't know what it means, but I've heard of it. I just don't actually know what it means. And then you put that in match form. Like, what does that even really mean?
I'm expecting Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle, just not as good.
Okay.
We have the Mamalukes with Disco Inferno versus the Harris Brothers. I guess they fucked Disco until he loved them because he's on their side now. We have Oklahoma versus Medusa for the WCW Cruiserweight title.
I don't know if he's a cruiserweight.
That's okay. We have Brian Knobbs versus Fit Finley versus Ming versus Norman Smiley for the hardcore title. We have Billy Kidman again versus Perry Saturn in a bunkhouse brawl because the first one was so great. They have Booker T versus Stevie Ray again. Tank Abbott versus Jerry Flynn.
Oh, Tank.
Jerry's pelvis got healed just so Tank can break it. And then we have Kevin Nash versus Terry Funk in a hardcore match, of course.
It's just crazy that these talents are so intertwined just with like how we're lined up.
And it all filters back to WWE.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our Wrestling Rewind.
Good stuff. Good stuff.